Hey! Hey, Tom! Yeah? Let's do a flying plane for a movie? What if it crashes? We'll make it into a good movie.
Sully's directed by Clint Eastwood, stars Tom Hanks, Aaron Eckhart, Laura Linney, Mike O'Malley, and Anna Gunn.
Yeah, Skylar White.
Skylar White. Yeah, this is Will again. Will, initial thoughts coming out of the theater on Sully?
Had to pee really bad.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Holding in that one. Forgot to pee before the movie. That's something you don't do.
Yeah. Wasn't a long movie, though.
No, but I filled up on caffeine, and that makes your bladder smaller.
I don't know if
I'm a
that's true.
scientist. So.
Did you like the movie?
I did. I like. I have an extreme fear of flying, so
yeah,
gonna have to bring a diaper next time I get on an airplane. But
his palms were awful, sweaty in the theater, and a little hairy too.
Hairy? I don't grow hair on the underside of my hands.
Anyway, performances. I can start with that. What do you think of the performances? Tom Hanks. I mean, if you can't like saying Tom Hanks was good in a movie now. It's just like saying Oxygen is good. It's obvious. It's gonna happen. I mean, he was great. He was fantastic.
He could pull off a white mustache.
He did. He pulled that off well, actually. I dug the white hair. I dug Tom Hanks as Sully. The thing I was worried about coming in was Clint Eastwood because to me, his recent movies haven't been the greatest in my opinion. Gran Torino was all right. I didn't think it was a tremendous movie, but
really?
I really think he hit it right on the mark.
Came out like 8 years ago, didn't it? Something like that.
Something like that.
I'll be honest. I thought Clint Eastwood was dead, but he's still kicking. Also, they told me we're going to the movie Sully, and I was like, sweet, Monsters Inc. sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Need a third one of those. Was disappointed. 3/4 of the way through, I realized it wasn't animated.
Yeah. Aaron Eckhart was great as a supporting actor. Laura Linney was really good. All she did was really answer phones at home, though. I mean, she didn't have a huge role, but she was good for what she did. It was good seeing Anna Gunn in a big motion picture like this. I really think she's a great actress. Opinions?
It was nice to see Aaron Eckhart with a full face instead of half of one by the diabolical schemes of the Joker.
It's a Dark Knight reference. I like it.
Rachel! Laura Linney was fine as well. Very emotional. Didn't wear a lot of makeup. That's all right. Answered a lot of phone calls.
One thing I will say, the initial reviews that I saw coming in often talked about the directing and kind of the editing of how it's not a linear story at all, really. There are a lot of flashbacks and different ways of using like his nightmares and kind of his stress and his how it wore on him. To me, that really impacted me really well. I thought that worked extremely well for the movie. Wasn't a hinder at all on it.
Yeah, I thought the plot worked really well. Clint Eastwood certainly knows what he's doing behind a director's chair. Or, sorry, not behind, on top of. You don't sit behind chairs. You sit on top of a chair. I just see Clint Eastwood, standing in the sidelines, either smoking the biggest cigar that there is or getting some sort of dialysis because he's just old.
So old. The plane scenes. Okay, it hit the dramatic marks really well, in my opinion. But the plane scenes are what coming in. It's like this film is based around 208 seconds of a plane crash. So how were they going to make that into a feature film was a worry that I had, but
they would slow down
really well. Time. No, they made it. They did really well, and the plane scenes were extremely tense and stressful. They were, I think, filmed really well. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm surprised no one had to use the laboratory. No, I hate flying, and when you see a bunch of birds hit the front of the cockpit, birds. It's a little tense. Then you see the engines explode, and everyone starts to panic. You see, old people.
And you get to see a lot of different perspectives on the crash too. You get not only the passengers, Sully, but also the dispatcher. That's really emotional. That's really cool. You get to see a lot of different perspectives on the crash and how it affected Sully behind the scenes because if you remember, I remember when this happened, he was just portrayed as this hero, but we had no idea what was going on behind the scenes, and you kind of got to see that there's a lot more to this story than what we originally got.
Yes.
Will.
Are you asking me?
I am. Where does Sully rank among your top Clint Eastwood films?
Great question, Bon. I would say my favorite Clint Eastwood movie is Unforgiven. So, I mean, this movie was great, but Eastwood certainly has had better movies, in my opinion.
Would you say it's better or worse than Gran Torino?
I would say Gran Torino's a lot better, just because Clint Eastwood is such a great actor, and it was just Gran Torino was more emotional, in my opinion. Because the lead character in Gran Torino demanded a lot, whereas the lead character in this one, Tom Hanks, as great as he did, he wasn't able to be very theatrical, because that wasn't really partial, or that's not really realistic to the real pilot in that scenario. So, but Gran Torino and Sully are two very different movies.
To me, I'm a huge sucker for Tom Hanks. My favorite actor.
Huge stalker for Tom Hanks?
Both a stalker and a sucker. I love Tom Hanks. I believe he is one of the greatest actors ever. Not just of this era, ever. Actually got a Tom Hanks shirt on right now. Nice. Forrest Gump shirt. No, I thought it was fantastic. I've been kind of disappointed by this summer movie season. I think a lot of movies have let us down. That being Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad.
Well, that's because superhero movies just suck.
He doesn't know. He's just... No. No, but I've been disappointed by a lot of movies this summer.
Right.
And I think Sully, it was one of my most anticipated movies, and I believe it delivered. I really enjoyed Sully.
The passengers weren't delivered. They had to turn around and fly into the Hudson.
Fucking grief. That's great. All right, so now that that's all over with, as much as he likes to joke, Will's a very smart guy. Overall thoughts on the movie, Will?
I liked it. I did. I thought that it was a very realistic telling of a story. In my opinion, didn't get a lot of credit. I think it's about an ordinary citizen. Could have been you. Could have been me stepping up to the plate.
And that's something that I like to include. Probably my favorite part of the movie actually was the aspect of so many times in the news we hear just of bad things.
Right, like
so we hear someone
murder, like children being murdered.
Yeah, that's specific. We hear a lot of bad things, but about the story of Sully, it's not just about Sully. It emphasizes about these people of New York, the first responders, the
New York's finest.
New York's finest come together, and it is said in the movie that they got these passengers out of the water off this plane in 24 minutes because all these New York citizens really came together as a community, and it's created that sense of hope and kind of that faith in humanity restored type of aspect. And you got to remember, this is in 2009, not a decade after 9/11, so we didn't need another plane catastrophe in New York, and that aspect was really emotional for me, actually. I did get pretty emotional at the end of this movie just because of that. But your rating for the movie, Will?
Well, I'll try to leave my bias out that I don't like flying.
It'd be good to do that.
That's just me. I'm being an honest, impartial citizen here. If I had to rate it out of 1, I would give it a point, like 0 to 1. No, if I had to rate it out of 10, I would give it 7.943 repeating. Just the 3 repeating.
So you liked it, not 8.
No, I did it 7.94 and then 3 with the line over it.
Cool. I'm just gonna do 7.9. For me, I really loved Tom Hanks. I always loved Tom Hanks, but I thought everyone did a fantastic job performance-wise this film. I thought Clint Eastwood's direction was really good. I'm gonna give it 8.5 out of 10. Enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite movies of the year so far. Probably my top favorite movie. Top 5 favorite movies of the year so far.
I was waiting for Walter White to pop out.
I know, that would have been nice.
Skylar! You gave the money to Beneke?
All right, guys, that was our review over Sully. This is Will Kuball.
Hey, everyone. And today we're going to be doing a review on the movie Sully. Came out just this year. What'd you think?
We already did that portion of this video.
Sorry.
All right, guys. Like this video. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And above all, subscribe to us for more movie reviews coming to you. He will be joining us.
Whoa.
We'll see you next time.